I would like to very briefly talk about my view on how to craft a paper. Once somebody has a promising research idea and they've obtained some data, how do you go about putting this project into practice? And of course, this is just my view, but this is something that I've done for many years. And for me, at least, it has worked. So I personally, when I have a research idea, I think about some predictions that I try to make. And I write them out. I write hypotheses out. And then I think about the theory that supports them. So in the beginning, really, that's all I have. I have some hypotheses and I try to have some clarity on the theory behind them. And then I go and collect data. And then I spend a lot of time just on collecting and analyzing the data, and I push it as far to completion as possible on the data part. And once I think I have clarity on what the results are, and I'm confident that the results are robust and won't change, then I go back and I do not start from page one. I mean, so many PhD students ask me, I just start from the introduction. And this is what I tell them. Think about a painter. They don't start from a corner of a painting and paint it from that corner and complete the corner and go throughout. They first sketch out what they want to paint, and then maybe they put a layer, and then they put a second layer and a third layer. This is how I go about my papers. So I return, once I have clarity on the results, I return to my hypotheses, and I write some bullet points arguments for all of them. And once I have those bullet points arguments, I return to the data and the results, and I write that part. And then I return and I flesh out the arguments to the hypotheses. And then I always step back. Whenever I go through one of these rounds where I just put another layer on the paper, I step back and I think of the flow. I think, how do I embed these pieces together? What's the best connection? What is the best flow? And then only at the very end, where essentially the core of the paper is written, only then I write the introduction and the conclusion, because that's when I really internalize the contribution of this paper and what kind of story I'm trying to tell with the paper. Only then I write those parts. And then, of course, I rewrite 100 times. And then at the end, I send it to a copy editor. So this is how I craft my papers.